potties.
There should be one out here now. It says one out.
This, where's my one? Is there a
There's
porta
one
potty?
and another one comes. They just call. That's why I was over there. I was
Is
on the
one
phone
out
to find.
there?
Should be one out there right now. Supposed to be put out today.
They must have just brought it out because
Well, I'm gonna look around. I'm gonna walk around. But one thing about your signs, and I see what you're talking about. They will be here by no later than Monday. Because you have young ladies right now scared to walk through the park because they're all right there. When they walked out, they said, "I'm scared. I'm gonna wait here for my parents," because they all at the games. You have some older ladies sitting on the slide with another girl, and then you have a bunch of young guys standing in one corner. So they not feeling it when they walk out right now. And so when I walked in, I heard that. So those signs will be out very soon.
all right, thank you.
And the electricity is should be going in today. The painting is going in for the new course, but if you're gonna have a one-on-one this coming week. This week, or later this week, or early next week.
The tennis court?
The basketball court.
Basketball court?
Basketball court.
I just
Clean the
realized
line.
about the tennis courts. I think the tennis courts are locked on this side, but I think they open on 41st Street. 'Cause I saw somebody walk over there.
I think that's true.
Yeah, they're open on the other side. It's not
So they open on the wrong side.
I mean, maybe for security that might be cool. I mean, but I saw somebody sitting there one day, so that's cool. You gotta let folks know to go to the other side.
Okay.
Well, I
Is that necessarily a bad thing though?
Yeah.
Because it does create separation.
I like
Part
that.
of this is, you know,
Once I realized it was open, I'm like, oh, they just don't know that it's open up here.
When I come up here during the day, I normally check see if the lock is on the tennis court. The lock is on the gate, but it's not locked.
Oh, so it's not even locked
Yeah,
there.
so
So they are
that
open.
side may be open too. I mean,
Okay.
I'm pretty sure the ones that were just like recently redone are the ones that are locked. The tennis court that's a little bit older is the one that is unlocked is what I heard.
all right.
I waded in the water. The water was unlocked. I've been waiting for the water to be unlocked. I got in the water.
The water.
The water. The wading.
A waiting pool.
The splash pad.
The waiting
You're
pool.
too big to be in.
I was gonna say.
So was it open? Was somebody
We
there?
need to decide
It
no
was very
one
cold
over.
water.
Okay. All right.
When it's hot, it's hot.
I know that.
I didn't get like in it. I just like walked through it.
Right.
I took my slides off.
All right.
Kind of supervisor, I don't know if you could talk to the lights too. I know that guy sent out an email saying
Yes,
that
they are working on right now
Yeah.
the city grid.
the city grid on
Right. Correct.
turning the tennis lights onto the park. That's happening like
Right as we speak. Correct.
Okay. I see we don't have any. Do you have any sheriff's department? No.
Can I ask a question first? Do y'all have a projected date on when all this stuff gonna be done? Like when everything gonna go into effect? For us to move the kids? Like the lights and
They are
field
working
and-
now, so you should have those projected dates should be
Within
no
the
later
next
than
couple of
week.
days?
Yes, this week or next week should be done. They should be working on it right now.
Okay.
The tennis courts, the acquisition is in, and they should be painted sometime this week or early next week. Before we have our next meet, all those items should be done.
Mike, I think it's important too that we have MPD here, but the sheriff should be here also.
Definitely.
Who contacted the sheriff for the meeting this week? Huh?
Well, I
Wednesday
think
like clockwork.
You made sure that they were here last week.
Correct.
But if somehow we can have them.
Attend the regular meeting. I will put that request in.
They know about the meeting.
Right, as long as we can let them know about the meeting before.
Okay.
it sounds
But-
like on Friday they started the lighting and they're continuing to work on it because it's coordination through county and city. So
What do you mean by the start of the light?
they started the lighting to get onto the city grid on last Friday.
Around the top lock or for?
No, around the tennis court.
Okay, because I believe you were saying that we could turn those lights on and point them over towards.
They are going to point them.
Yeah.
They're going to point this way,
that has
correct.
been done.
Yeah.
They have?
Yeah,
Okay.
so that does have
And
been
then
later on.
it's not with the two-prong light
The two prongs
pole
up?
that they were gonna start that, but they didn't. They had to delay it because there would be outages throughout the park or something. That's what they said. If there was power outages, then it would have to be delayed so that not all of the lights went down in the park.
I will follow up.
Yeah.
I will have the answer for you.
I mean, how long would that take? They could just start in the morning.
Are you taking, you know, county government run kind of slow. We are moving a little bit fast right now. Oh, okay. All right.
I'm taping. I ain't live though.
So what's
I say that.
happening?
Looking when I say that.
So what's been happening in the park?
Same thing. Pretty much we've been having, you know, continuing the programming, continuing the food schedule. I think we've done the fish fry was new. There's something else that we started. Movie night we've had the past 2 weeks. I think I forget.
I know there was
Yeah.
The clothes and
Manicure
toys
Monday.
drive or something.
Oh yeah, you guys started
That
Manicure
Monday.
Monday. I'm not sure if that'll
What
be an
Monday?
every week thing.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna. I just talked to Charmaine, and it seems like
Okay.
we'll be doing it.
Is that gonna include haircuts also?
Now,
We're trying to do that.
Yeah.
Damien, who does the barbershop Mondays throughout the city, just secured a little bit more funding. The hard part with the barbers is that's their one day off, so we wanted to try to have something to have as a, you know, not necessarily donation, but something for them coming out and doing it. So we finally got some of that. So we were talking to a couple of different barbershops in the near area, and it sounds like it could be possible. So
Is there a place online that the schedule or the events can be followed on
well,
anybody's Facebook page? Or?
I think that's the
Facebook.
yeah. That's
Oh,
what
the
it
one
is.
you okay.
Yeah.
And
And that's called
Anyone
what again?
can
Program the parks.
All right.
join and host and.
And also, you know, we can certainly use our e-list to get the word out. If we know exactly when it's gonna happen.
But other than that, some of the same issues from last week. The guys that have been driving the stolen cars around the park, we had one of our people actually confront them. They actually followed them out of the park, pulled them over and talked to them. So since that happened, they have not been speeding through the sidewalk areas. They come through the parking lot sometimes, but they're not as reckless and wild as they were before. Gambling is starting to be one of the issues. But like I said, that's like a funny thing that we're dealing with right now, because the almost 3 months we've been out here, we probably can only count probably 2 incidents that were surrounded, you know, happened around gambling. So it's not like a major issue, but it's more so now that we're trying to keep them from grouping up around everybody else doing it, trying to get them moved away from the top lot, away from, you know, areas that we can plainly see them. But like I told y'all last meeting, if we say something to them and they don't move, and y'all come to say something to them and they don't move, then whatever y'all do after that's on y'all, because we're not.
They saw us, somebody said something to one of them, and then everybody dispersed.
Yeah.
Well, that's what they do. As soon as they see you, they scatter.
Right.
But then they come back.
They come right back.
And yeah, and I know that, you know, they've been talked to. So you have to come in and do whatever you need to do. I know it's not a high priority for you, but you know, it is something that I think, you know, when people see that,
Yeah.
they don't want to come to the park.
No,
Yeah.
So it's not a good thing.
And
Yeah,
not only that, but things go wrong in the gambling, you can
Right.
have conflicts.
But,
Yeah.
but like I said, for the most part, the reason we did allow it for so long is because you get them grouped up and we can watch them in their group, and there's usually no arguing or no, like if the 2 incidents, one that happened the other night and the one with the shooting, those are the only 2 in the past almost 3 months we've been here that we can say that happened around the gambling. So for us, it's more just, you know, To us, it's not a big deal because we can watch them and it's really not violent for the most part. But we've had been getting approached by homeowners who say that that's an issue for them to look across and see that. For people who want to come to the park, they look across and see that, and they don't know. They just see gambling, they automatically, oh, that's horrible, that's bad, we can't have that. So we trying to, clean it up for, But again, we would like to have more homeowners and people from around here to come and be involved in these meetings, so they don't just look across and see that and not know that, for the most part, it's controlled in a sense. But those are really the only.
How are things going at 10 o'clock? I see the sheriffs have been there, sometimes, a few of them. And I know there was at least one night when it was tough, but it seems like most of the nights have been okay.
What generally happens? Let me say. Generally what happens is we used to start at 9:30 and start getting them moved out. But what happens now is a lot of them will start filling themselves out at 9:30. And then we have like a base group of the ones who don't really want to leave, or you got to tell them a few times. So what we told the sheriff was just try to come a little bit after 10 if you can on a regular basis. That way when we tell them and they don't leave, and you guys are right there, you know what I'm saying? And then when they hit the lights and they move in, that kind of helps us. Because what we tell them is, listen, we're trying to get y'all out of here. If we leave and they here, they gonna ticket y'all or whatever the case may be, and then they just, as usual, when the police come around or they come around, the lights and stuff is enough to get them to be like, okay, you know what I'm saying? So for the most part, yeah. We got some issues with the sheriff's department that is starting to become less about the kids and more about us. Like we're getting a lot of resistance from them. Yeah.
Yes.
We've had some incidents with specific ones that I have not spoken on it before. I have not filed any complaints, but it looked like we're gonna have to go that route. And certain officers I would like to see not be able to come here because every time they come here, it's escalated incident around them every time because their thing is we're the authority, we're the law, we don't have to work with y'all, and then it becomes it's 10 o'clock, adults and kids have to leave. You know what I'm saying? So if we set up a movie night and at 10 o'clock we're getting them out the park and we still have all our stuff here, we have to clean up, we have to pack all our stuff, and then we have to deal with them rolling up on us like you guys are still here too, we arrest you. You know what I'm saying? Like we're not gonna go through that. So
But check, you got everything else. We have a meeting this Friday.
Friday?
Oh yeah, this Friday about that issue. That's an important issue.
Friday
you
where?
Let me get the
I'm
meeting. I
sorry.
will let you know.
I'm sorry.
No.
I'm just trying to write.
Right. Because this is the first time I hear about it.
Oh,
I'm gonna try to set
okay.
the meeting up tomorrow.
Look, I'm recording and writing. I'm
so
sorry.
Set it up. I will give him a call. No, this has been very low key here.
Okay.
And then we have it, but it will be Friday.
okay. And I need to get you my new number too. I have a new number.
Okay.
I think I'm gonna be at that meeting too, down at the,
We can actually try. I'm trying to bring it in here, so it's rough parking down there. So I'm trying to make the meeting down here.
Okay.
Is it gonna be over by 7?
No, this is gonna be during the day.
Oh, during the day, good. Packers play at 7.
Oh?
just one comment on the crap shooting. The other day when I was over here, and I know that Vaughn and a couple of the other folks had already asked those gamblers to move, and they really didn't. I called the captain and asked him to send a squad, which he did. Which, we appreciate that. If we can get the sheriff to kind of do the same thing when that happens.
Do they gamble at a particular place?
They mean like a spot? They have several spots that they gamble at. It's two that we kind of leave them a lot. Like when they're on the side of the building, under this little thing right there, and then it's like in the pathway in the back. Those two areas is away from everybody. You know what I'm saying? So those two areas we let them, because they're out of sight. And again, they're not around the rest of the smaller kids and stuff like that. So those two areas to us is cool. But like I said, like maybe the homeowners may call and they have an issue with seeing it because it's closer over here. But for us, as long as they not in the tot lot area or on that little walk where the baseball diamond is, where that shed is, like those areas, that's where we trying to get them from.
All right. Anything else happening?
No, we just, like I said, we just waiting on, you know, getting everything situated as far as getting all the stuff on the list accomplished, so we can start pushing them away from the tot lot. So everything is pretty much a wait for us.
Any comments from any of the residents?
I came up here Friday and you all were having a movie night. I just drove through and it was real calm. There wasn't a lot going on. The only discussion was over by the basketball, but everything over here was really nice. You all had some food out and the kids were watching the movie. You all had it on a sheet, I think it was.
Yeah.
So I enjoyed seeing that.
Hopefully we'll be doing that again Friday. Oh, another thing we're working on is we're getting a lot of tickets, like Brewers tickets. We got Brewers tickets before, so we've been actually taking them out of the park. We got some State Fair tickets that was donated today. We got like 14. Somebody was supposed to be donating possibly some tickets to like Great America and stuff like that. So we'll be looking into like getting them out of the park, taking them to places, you know what I'm saying, that they may not have been before. The S'more Sunday, we started that. So like last week when we first started, I had never had a s'more before, and a lot of them hadn't. So that was, I mean, just stuff that they're not used to doing, probably never would really get to do, stuff like that. We trying to just change the atmosphere and introduce them to something different. Plus, taking certain ones from out of here keeps, you know what I'm saying, not the trouble ones, but the key ones. We're trying to get, you know, and do stuff with them outside of the park.
Are there chaperones for the field trips, like Great America?
Now, the Great America tickets, of course, they will always be chaperones, like even when we send them. But the issue is now, like State Fair. I wouldn't want to send them to State Fair with no money. We sent them to the Brewers game. I had raised like $125, so I just sent that for food and stuff like that. But for that, we definitely would need some money for them to go out there on, because everything else will be free. But you know, you do got to pay for stuff. So it's just planning and getting money raised for stuff like that.
I think that's a yes.
Well, I'm a neighbor, homeowner, and what I see is, you know, a couple of years ago we really tried to get things going in Sherman Park, and we just didn't get enough. I was before Mr. Marco came in, and we really just didn't get enough people interested. And you know, the squeaky wheel gets the oil. You know, so I'm not happy that the reason, you know, things are moving along is because of the violence and the trashing that we had. That doesn't feel good in our neighborhood. But I just see so much good happening. I mean, the fact that all of us are meeting regularly and lots of people are problem solving, and you know, the kids are having opportunities, and the neighbors are walking over, and more people are involved. And you know, I've been trying to get trash cleaned up on my block for like a month, and Bianca, who came to the meeting last week, she's got a crew. My block looks the best it's looked. So I mean, there's all kinds of good stuff coming, and you know, Mr. Mayo working with the county now to get stuff moving here. And so I mean, stuff that should be like, you gotta have bathrooms if you're going to be open, and you know, just stuff like that. I just am so happy to see how things are moving, and it may seem very slow to you, but I know how fast government works. I'm amazed at how much has gotten done, or at least promised and put on a timeline. So
Yeah, and you know, the important thing is, like you said, Kay, that we are talking, and we have to keep this dialogue going, because I mean, we're all in this together, and if one group,
All our neighborhood.
yeah, if one group is not, you know, pitching in, then it may be, you know, preventing us from really accomplishing what we need to accomplish. So,
The more good begets more good.
Yeah,
Right.
that's why it's good for us to have the relationship with at least law enforcement, because when they see law enforcement resist us or have interaction with us that's negative, it gives them more of a reason to disrespect authority or you know what I'm saying, go against them, because they do recognize that we're trying to work with them and do stuff for them. So when they see officers come up here and give us a hard time arresting